Hey guys, Nathan here, and behind me is the 2019 Mazda CX-9, and we're doing an unfiltered buddy review. I need a buddy for that, and so I'm going to bring over Mike.
Hey!
It's your fault that this car is so damn popular. All of them are. This segment is huge, and fortunately we have ourselves a turbocharged 3-row family vehicle, which I think looks pretty good.
Yeah, well, in this video we're going to do, of course, our real-world 0 to 60 test with 3 people in the car. We're going to do our road noise test, our snarfs test to see if we can find our favorite sandwich shop. We're going to see what the ride quality is like, and then at the very end of this video we're going to give it a rating, TFL rating, of buy it, lease it, rent it, or forget it. But first, let's talk a little about that turbocharged engine. I'll open the hood, you tell them what's under there?
Come on, guys. Yeah, something special in here because unlike a lot of the competitors who stuff V6s under the hood, this one has a 4-cylinder. It's a 2.5 liter that puts out 250 horsepower and 310 pound-feet of torque, which is quite good. Here's the cool part. If you don't mind a slight bump down in horsepower, you can put in regular 87 octane and get 227 horsepower, but the same torque. That's right. This has a 6-speed automatic transmission, which in the base model would power just the front wheels, but this has all-wheel drive. And in this configuration, it can get up to 26 miles per gallon on the highway. If you get the front-wheel drive version, up to 28 miles per gallon on the highway.
Nathan, there's one issue here.
Yes.
So, you need 93 octane to get 250 horsepower, right?
Yeah.
Do you know how many gas stations there are in Colorado that I could find that have 93 octane fuel?
Yeah.
2. In the whole state. So, there's a good chance we don't have 93 octane in here right now.
But you know, it really doesn't matter that much because you still can get the same amount of torque,
That's
right?
true, and we're going to put it to the test.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Now, come on, let's have a look on the side because I love the profile of this vehicle.
Yeah,
stylish.
Super stylish looking vehicle. Mazda did a lot of great work with the styling here. I mean, you got these big lines down the side, right? It's stylish, it's handsome, it looks good. What about the paint color? Do you like this? It's like a brown.
No, I don't. But the rest of the vehicle I do like. They have a blue that looks fantastic on this vehicle. And the bottom line is, Mazda's managed to take a fairly good sized vehicle and make it look a little bit smaller with their styling, and that's a good thing. Let's have a look back here. Fire it up. Open it. It's kind of slow opening.
It's a little slow. Back here, of course, the CX-9 does offer a 3rd row of seats. To open them, you just pull that little handle, flip up the headrest. Go ahead and do it on both sides. I do kind of wish that they were power folding, but it's pretty easy.
And some of the competitors do have power folding, and that is a bit of an issue. Now, another thing that is a bit of an issue is there's not a ton of storage here, but you do have this lower section which does open up to more storage underneath, which is great for flat objects like pizza. Okay, speaking of which, Mike, get in!
Pizza, what? Yeah, you know, we have some tall guys here at the TFL office. I'm 6'2", Nathan is
6'1",
just as close. We're not the people who are exactly meant for these back seats, but we're gonna get into them anyways because, well, we're providing good customer.
Yeah, this is important, right? Stuff. And by the way, audience, say no to crack.
Hey, listen, I'm trying to avoid that.
Good man. Get in there. Yep, no crack at all.
Okay, help.
No, you can do it. There
you
go. That's it.
All right, so the 2nd row has adjustability. You can move it forwards and backwards. There's a little handle underneath there. And this is as far forwards as I think you'd want to go. But I'm actually in here okay. I am struggling a little bit with headroom, but I'm comfortable. It's actually not the worst thing in the world. This could work. This could be okay.
I have a 9-year-old and a 14-year-old who can fit back there very comfortably.
Yeah.
And there's enough room in the center row for mid-sized adults. So there is adjustability, which is good. And frankly speaking, I find these seats to be quite comfortable in general. Get out of there, Mike. Come on.
Yeah, let me get out of here. Now, Nathan. Before we get on the road here, I want to take a minute to appreciate something that Mazda has done.
Okay. Because, tell the good people.
As you can see right here, it's have a cable, and it's plugged into a little USB port down there, and this side's going to go into my phone. Oh, look at that, Android Auto. Hey, we're in.
Okay. All right.
Wow.
Can we drive now?
Yeah, we can drive.
All right. Fine. Far up.
This will help during our snarfs test. The parking brake's still on.
Yeah, parking brake's on. Okay. So let's talk about a few things. First of all, this is not the top of the line model. This is just below it. The top of the line is the Signature.
Right.
Now, can you open up that glove compartment?
I
Because
can.
we have in there the
Monroney, which tells us a lot of useful information. So the very base price you can pay for a Mazda CX-9 in 2019 is $32,280.
That is front-wheel drive only.
Front-wheel drive, it's the base trim.
But it still has this engine.
It does have this engine. Now, to get all-wheel drive, you have to spend basically a little under $2,000. So the base trim with all-wheel drive, $34,000. We lost our hula girl, and $80. There. And my seatbelt's locked. Oh my gosh.
Just you need
It's
to
a
be,
real world review.
Yeah, it's a
Real world testing
conditions right here.
Yeah. Okay, so this trim is the Grand Touring trim.
Right.
And that starts at, where'd I put it? $42,640.
Yeah, it's a little pricey, but
A little
keep going.
pricey.
Yeah.
Ours has a few options, and the final price out the door before like taxes and stuff like that, $45,310 for this vehicle.
Okay, now here is the deal on that. That is still not even the top price because you can get the Signature with more goodies and spend even more.
Right.
That is a lot of money for a 3-row SUV in this class.
But it feels pretty premium in here, I have to say.
They've done a great job on the interior. They're actually, I only have one major complaint about the interior in this particular car. Can you guess?
Headroom?
No, headroom's okay.
What is it?
Take your pinky and shove it in there.
In here?
That gap.
With this?
Yeah,
Oh, this.
That.
Oh, yeah, that's a big gap.
Yeah, I don't.
That is a large
gap. I don't think that's kosher, frankly speaking. I get it. I know why it's there. It's to make it's for the door, but
Sure, yeah.
I don't like it.
It is a little. Now you point it out, I can't like unsee it.
You cannot unsee it, and that is an issue that they've done such a great job. You'd think they'd be able to find a way to make that look better. So that is one of the minor issues. But the other issue is this is competing with vehicles like Acura in this price.
Yeah, it's expensive. It's definitely expensive.
Coming to a full and complete halt, so this thing can reset. So we can do our 0 to 60.
And
I have it in sport mode.
we are reset.
And away we go.
Good.
Fastest way for this thing to take off is just a little bit of torquing, and then away we go.
This is actually, I think, going to be a pretty good time here.
Yeah, 9.3 is really good, actually.
9.33 seconds. That's very respectable for something that can hold 7 people, and it's currently carrying 3 up here at a mile above sea level.
That is correct. And it is a 4-cylinder. Remember, guys, this is a turbocharged 4-cylinder. And the cool thing about this is that it's not really losing a ton of power up at this elevation. V6s would lose some because most of those are normally or naturally aspirated.
Correct.
All right, let's do sound.
Road test. We hit some traffic, but we did get a good number before that, which was actually a little below 60 decibels, so like 58, 57 decibel range.
You know what? I'm going to call that a little higher because we had to slow down.
We did.
We were dropping speeds, so.
But that's still a pretty good figure. I mean,
this is a relatively quiet car.
If it's luxurious, you got to have a quiet ride. It is quiet.
It is quiet, but listen to this engine. You can really hear it.
You can hear it.
I don't mind personally.
It's actually a decent note,
I don't
too.
mind an engine note, but people who buy this, the type of people who buy it, they're really not into engine notes, I don't think.
Well,
so,
also it's a 4-cylinder turbo engine note and not like a V8 engine note. It doesn't sound amazing, but it actually it has a little growl to it.
Yeah, it's got a little whine to it too with the turbo, which I really dig. So, a couple things right off the bat. I've driven every version of this vehicle going back to the first generation, which, by the way, I really like the first generation of this too. Yeah. And I almost bought one with my family. Decided against it, got something else. But the point being is that it was good enough to be up there in that realm. Oh, yeah. And I've owned a lot of Mazdas. I make no secret of the fact that I do like Mazda, but because of that, I'm pretty hard on them too. Sure. There are a lot of things they can improve. Now, right off the bat, this does have a pretty decent heads-up display. Which I don't think you're going to be able to see, camera guy.
You can maybe get it.
Maybe. Maybe if I grab the camera. He gave me the camera. It's mine! The camera's mine! Oh, sorry. I don't know if you're going to see that or not, but we'll give it a shot.
We'll try it out. Anyways, it looks good though, right?
Yeah, it's actually pretty good. It's fairly informative. But I have a couple issues. First of all, this.
The tablet? The stuck-on tablet?
Bueno. It looks like it's supposed to retract, right?
I mean, you remember in the mid 2000s, Volvo's navigation screens did that? They would pop out
which
of the
was
dashboard.
very James Bond.
It
But
looks
this
really
doesn't
cool.
do
No,
that,
this
and
just
it
sits
looks
there.
like it should, and a lot of people complain, and I agree with them. You know, Toyota had a thing, even on the CHR, where they had a little piece of plastic that went
Yeah,
up,
it looked really
and it
good.
looked like it was supposed to be there, right?
Yeah.
Just something that simple could fix this. So that's one thing they need to fix. Now, Snarfs.
Snarfs test.
All
I
right.
think it should work with Android Auto here. So
Okay.
press the little voice control button.
Here we go.
Get us directions to Snarfs sandwiches.
You've got a few choices here. Pick the one you want.
Okay, let's see the choices. Where are my choices?
I don't see the choices.
How come this never works?
Look on your phone. Did it give you choices on your
No, it
phone?
didn't give me. No. The
Okay.
idea is that you do it through here.
Oh. Here, let me try it. Take me to Snarfs sandwiches.
There are a few choices. Pick the one you want.
Show us the ones.
I wonder what maybe it's Chase Younggreen?
No, that's my texts.
Oh,
Not a
these are
touchscreen
so folks, this is some friends of his.
Oh boy. I do have friends, believe it or not, find people of the internet. Directions.
All right.
Well, okay, I'm going to call that a failure because it didn't
Yeah.
really work, did it?
And I thought it would tie in, but
And that's even with Android Auto, which
Yep.
usually works really well.
All right. We're
Bumpy
coming
road
up to
test.
our bumpy road test.
Scale 1 to 10. 10 is a high score, it means it's really bumpy and it's bad, and a 1 is a good score, based on how much our hula girl is dancing. And she's not.
dancing.
She's moving. But what's interesting here is I think she's moving less than what I'm feeling right now.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I think the ride, it's one of the sportier crossovers in its
I
segment.
will agree with you 100% that it does have. Mazda bakes in a little bit more of a sporty performance
Yeah.
ride in everything they have, and this
They
one
do.
has it as well. And because of that, I felt a little bit more shake, like right there, just going over a manhole cover. It was closed.
Yeah.
I felt it. So I'm going to give that a 4.
I think we have to go a little higher. I'm going to say a 5.
Okay, fair enough.
Because it was comfortable, it was controlled, and I like how sporty the ride is, but you do feel a good amount of bumps as a result.
The point is that it's a little sporty.
Yeah.
And I had a chance to recently take one of these off-road. I actually had that written up in TFL car. And off-road, with the same tires that it has on now, it did really well. It has a system that's really, it's a predictive all-wheel drive system. The overall weather conditions that are out there, whether or not your windshield wipers are on, and everything else to pre-trigger your all-wheel drive system
Very smart.
to mitigate, slippage. And it works really well. And we played with it before. It's not an off-road system, really.
No, it's not a heavy off-road.
No, it's really not. But it is built for, doing some decent, hardcore winter driving, I should say.
Sure, in the snow, I think it does really well.
It does really good.
And even on some lighter trails here in Colorado, it's been pretty impressive. I've been really happy with Mazda's all-wheel drive
Yeah.
system. Overall, too, the interior is really comfortable, really nice. I think the layout of this is well done, although I'm not a huge fan of these rotary dial menu selectors.
And they're a little bit on the slow side too. I found that they don't get engaged quickly. You know what vehicle this favorably competes against, both in terms of its overall styling and everything else, I feel?
What's that?
Kia.
Kia.
Yep.
So the Sorento. Yeah.
The Kia Sorento, which we recently did a video on, and I think we had Alex from Alex on Autos in it.
Yeah.
And I truly believe that vehicle and this one compete head to head, and they both have positives. I think you get a little bit more for the money with the Kia.
Yeah.
And that V6 is excellent.
I think the Mazda is a little more sport oriented.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I agree with you right there.
But they're both really good.
Yeah, well,
actually.
and this is a well bolted together vehicle.
Yeah.
And coming from a Mazda background, I have a few minor issues, but none of them have anything to do with its drivability. I think it's a great driving car.
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, you know what I would really, really like in this vehicle?
What's that?
Maybe a little bit more gear. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like an 8-speed transmission.
Yeah, 7-speed even.
7.
I know it's for Mazda's, according to their guys, hey, we get really good efficiency with the 6 and it's a great sport transmission, and I agree with them. It works really, really well. However, I think that perhaps if they went to a little bit more of a modern 7 or 8-speed transmission,
You'd probably get better gas mileage.
that, and also I think that they would have more people interested in it, because this sort of is old.
6 feels old now. It's weird
That's
to say
exactly
it,
what
but
I'm
6
saying.
feels
That's
old.
exactly
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's really weird to say. I do like 2 things though. One, it's a torque converter automatic, not a CVT.
Indeed.
And 2, what you just did right there, it's not some stupid buttons, it's not a
It's
rotary
just a
dial.
simple-
It's a good old-fashioned gear lever, park, reverse, neutral drive, and a little manual mode if you flip it to the left. All right, let's hop out and give it a rating, shall we?
Yep, absolutely. I know exactly what I'm going to say.
Rating: buy it, lease it, rent
buy
it.
it.
Buy it.
I'd buy it.
Really?
You know what?
42 grand?
Yes, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Because she who must be obeyed, my spouse,
The wife.
would absolutely kill for this.
Yeah.
If it were in a different color. I know
Yeah,
she
I
wouldn't
don't-
like this color. This color is not...
We don't get to
not-
pick the
it's-
color, guys.
yeah.
That's just what it came with.
But I've seen other colors. Actually, this looks really good in white. Not all crossovers look good in white.
There's a red color that's really nice. And even
Yeah.
their silver is pretty good too.
Yeah. So, yes, I like a lot of what they did with the vehicle. There could be improvements, and hopefully there will be, and that's the whole point of having a vehicle. Eventually, improvements.
Yeah.
The minor interior issues aside, comfortable ride, really fun to drive for a 3-row SUV.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a little pricey, and it's starting to get into the MDX territory, which I think you and I agree is one of the best in class.
It's a good one. The MDX is a really good crossover. I'm really hovering between buy it and lease it.
Okay.
I love the car. I really like how it drives. There's good power out of that turbocharged 4-cylinder. Pretty decent gas mileage as well, and a lot of space for people and things. But 42 grand is a lot of money. That's the thing that I'm having a hard time swallowing.
Okay.
So I think I'm gonna go with lease it purely because of price. I think this is a great car. I'd be happy to have one in my driveway. I just don't want to fork over 42 grand when, I don't know, yeah, you could be in accurate territory. I know Mazda is a brand right now that's trying to push some of their vehicles into that luxury segment.
Yep.
And I'm actually proud of them for doing that because I think they're doing a pretty good job. But I think a lot of consumers, a lot of you guys would have a hard time paying 42 grand and still having a Mazda badge on the front of your car.
Especially when other 3-row crossovers in this class with this type of efficiency and this type of luxury are a lot less.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, well, guys, thank you so much for joining us. I think we've come to a decent conclusion, and yeah, it was actually fairly fun. So join us next time.
Yeah, see you next time.